Hello there and welcome to Really Cool Excel. Here's another lesson on a brilliant feature in Excel called Conditional Formatting. This one covers how to highlight the whole row based on the contents of one cell. With Conditional Formatting in place, your worksheet can alert you with colourful highlighting or graphics or symbols that you're approaching some sort of target or threshold, or maybe even that you've passed it. Now that could be good news or bad news for your business, but either way you probably want to know. If you're new to this, check out Conditional Formatting Parts 1 and 2 from earlier in the Really Cool Excel series. In those videos I showed you how Excel can automatically format a cell based on the data in that particular cell. Here's an example where sales periods that have met target are highlighted in green because turnover is greater than the target figure. Now this is a very small data set, so it's quite easy to run your eye along the row to see which months are involved. But what if it's a much longer row, like this one? Not quite so easy to see. Your eye can run off and you might think the highlighting is against one particular name when in fact it's against the one above or below. So let's see how to highlight the whole row based on the contents of one cell. Let's imagine we manage membership renewals for a tennis club. When the months remaining here goes below 3, we need to send a renewal notice to the member. First step is to select the range of cells in the rows that will be formatted. In this case that's A2 to L16. Then click Conditional Formatting on the Home tab. Choose Highlight Cells Rules, then More Rules to bring up the New Formatting Rule dialog box. Now choose Use a formula to determine which cells to format. In this field here, type equals $L2 less than 3. The dollar sign in the formula in front of the L makes the column L absolute. So what's absolute? Well, absolute means constant or fixed in place. So $L2 means the column remains fixed, but the row reference changes as the formula moves down the column. So L2, then L3, and so on down to L16. There's a really cool Excel video which introduces absolute, so if you're not familiar with it, that's probably worth a look. But briefly, there are 3 types of absolute. $A$1, where cell A1 would remain constant. $A1, similar to what we've just done, where column A is constant but the row reference can change. And finally A$1. The column reference can change but row 1 is constant. It sounds complicated, but you'll soon get the hang of it, sometimes through trial and error, admittedly. Anyway, to set the formatting that will be applied when the cell reference is less than 3, click the Format button and format with a green fill. Finally, click OK and all the rows with a value less than 3 are highlighted in green. And just to test it's definitely worked, I'll change one of the values and the whole row turns green. Now we can easily see the member's name, no matter how far away the number is. There are all sorts of formulas you could use, so here are a few examples. I'll just show you the formulas to save working them all through. I'm sure you'll get the picture. Equals $K2 equals June. We'll highlight any row with June in column K. And June needs to be in quotes as it's a text value. Equals $G2 equals F. This will highlight all female members. and equals $M2 equals quote quote, which highlights any row where paid is a blank cell. 2 quotes stands for blank in an Excel formula. One thing I should say, setting up conditional formatting like this is very useful for a worksheet that gradually changes over time. For example, as each member pays their fees, their record is highlighted, so eventually all the records are highlighted and those who haven't paid stand out. But what if this is the type of data you interrogate all the time? You wouldn't want to set up a new conditional formatting rule for every different query. That would drive you nuts. The answer is to create a search cell, like in this example. We'll assume we're frequently asked which memberships are due in a particular month. So our search cell is K1 for inputting the month name. The formula would then be equals $K4, which is the first cell in the range we'll be interrogating. So equals $K4 equals $K, $1. And if you remember from before, $K, $1 means that K1, which is our search cell, is absolute. As the formula moves down column K, it always relates back to K1. Type May in the search cell, and all the members due to renew in May are highlighted. Change the search to June, and now all the June renewals are highlighted. With this setup, you can handle queries very quickly. Just one word of warning. This worksheet is only designed to conditionally format the range A2 to L16. If I type some data in a cell below the formula's range, which we know is column L, and it meets the criteria, some random highlighting can appear. The reason for this is down to a setting under File, Options, Advanced, Editing Options. It's this one here, Extend Data Range Format and Formulas. If this is checked, which is the default, the conditional formatting will automatically be extended to the rows below. If this turns out to be a problem for you, uncheck this box. That might affect some other formatting, of course, but at least you've got the choice. So as you've seen, lots of options available to conditionally format parts of your worksheet based on the contents of one cell. I'm sure the examples we've looked at here will be enough to show you what's possible. And finally, remember there are other videos that support this one, and here they are. I'll leave you now to go off and experiment, and if you'd like more practice, download the associated Excel files from the website. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.